All right, so it's
Then
us
there were
5 then.
five.
Yeah,
I didn't know Jonah was piecing too.
Yeah, me neither. I don't have my webcam for this one. Like just kind of packing everything up, right?
I
Hey,
don't
it's
get
all
to see
good.
your facial expression when I shit on Android 18.
Oh.
No.
That's what we're here for.
It's such a good deck, just that everybody hates.
I hate the deck so much.
I do. Hey, I'm gonna mill 28 fucking cards out of your deck. It was fun.
Red just
Mhm.
can't deal with it, man. Red is just like you either gas and kill them, but now we don't have a deck that's fast enough to kill that deck before it just mills you out.
You
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't find Vegeta's fast? He's
Not
pretty
fast
strong.
enough.
It
The
depends.
field
You
card
gotta
slows it
open
down.
really well. You gotta open really well with Vegeta.
Yeah, the field card from Android 18 really slows down a lot of these decks.
Mhm.
It brings it to the speed that I need it to be.
So,
Yeah.
so Karl, are you able to pull up the cards?
Oh man, I forgot about.
Oh, you forgot. Oh,
So what are we discussing today? SCRs.
SCRs, just the winners. If you want to just say what they chose or how the art looks, whatever. You could smack it or like it, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Hey, I got a lot to say about one specific SCR. You know.
So do I.
Yeah.
We don't know which one.
Well, it's true too. Eric wanted to talk about the ban list as well. He wanted to just
That's
throw a
fine as
pitch in.
well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I could rant on the ban list. I think it was fine, okay, to all the haters. I know SCR had a heavy take, and I know a lot of people have a heavy take, but my take is Unison Warrior block was busted, man. The whole thing was a mistake. Vegex killing people on turn 0 almost. Then you went to Dark Broly killing people on like turn 2, turn 3, and Red Broly. All the Broly decks in general this set killed people on like turn 2, turn 3. And then we got into like the first turn kill decks with King Vegeta and Dark Broly, and once we kind of removed that layer, we never got to see the rest of the Unison Warrior block. So I think by design, all of it was like broken and busted. So once you remove one layer and you're trying to move into Spirit Boost, you gotta keep peeling off the layers of Unison Warrior until you get to Spirit Boost, so it's actually playable, because it looks like Bandai's trying to go for a toned down game now with the new format. So unless we rotate out like these insanely power crept overtuned cards, there's gonna be no room for them to like redesign and kind of like lower the power level of the game. So I thought that these bans were necessary. There's still like cards they need to hit, and obviously like there's some cards like Turning the Tide or that are a little brainless that are still around, but at least we have bullets for those cards. And I think if they're aiming to tone down the game, the ban list was like spot on for me.
I think so. I honestly, with me for the ban list on it too, though, I do think they didn't hit enough. I feel like Tragic Overground should have been leader locked. There's too much ramp right now in the current set, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's an extra card. They hit 9, and they're just like, "Hey, I win," and like 80% of the decks, they're like, "Yeah, you win."
Then
And
again,
then honestly, another one is Rebirth. As much as I love the deck, I think Rebirth needs to just be errated to mono blue. Like you errata that, it's gonna really, it only really is gonna hit Android 18. But I don't disagree in the fact that the Android 18 mill deck should not exist.
So on board, we can agree that this deck can go away. I'm all for
Oh
that.
yeah, I agree with that. But I'm still gonna play the shit out of it until it does.
I'm surprised the Piccolo Jr. didn't get hit. The Unison?
Oh no, Red's been hurt enough. They can't do that.
Yeah.
The way I look at bans is I'm very for future proofing, so I'll be okay. Like Red is kind of dead anyways. If you're playing Red in set 15, you're not playing Dragon Ball. You're just not gonna. You just got to be okay with playing tier 3, tier 2 decks. I would be for the Piccolo hit. Might as well like future proof the card so it doesn't become a problem in a future deck. And it's been a problem in many decks already, so it's gonna keep coming back.
Well, that's the thing. It's the go-to Unison. No one's really exploring any other red Unisons because of that one. And it's the same thing with Soul Striker. I feel like they should have did something to Soul Striker because he's the go-to blue. Like, I know blue isn't the strongest, but still, like, anything that comes out, it's like, oh, I'll just play Soul Striker. So no one's exploring or expanding on blue. You know what I mean?
For me, the
There's a
Soul-
reason though. Oh, sorry. There's a reason though that they haven't hit Soul Striker yet. The collection hasn't come out yet. You got a reason to buy that beautiful Soul Striker leader. As soon as that comes out, they're gonna tell us to go fuck ourselves. That's what's gonna happen. That's
Whenever
my
I
call.
predict cards, I always look at what's being printed or reprinted before I come up with like what they're gonna hit. Because well, as soon as I saw thwarting there, I was like, this card deserves to be hit, but it's not gonna.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not wrong on that.
Yeah.
The only other card, Silver Bullet, I'm surprised never got hit was Black Mass Saiyan, because best of 3, yeah, everybody decides that, everybody plays it, and it hits so many decks.
Oh, but it shouldn't be touched. It
No.
needs to stay in the format. It's a weak card that's very easy dealable, no deflect, no barrier. And when we're looking into the sideboard option, that's where you have your sideboard answers for removal and stuff. For the decks that don't need removal, you have those sideboard options for it. So I mean, if they side in or Black Mass Saiyan, you should be expecting to side in something to deal with that Black Mass Saiyan.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be a problem for the decks that don't side something in to deal with it. But if you take that card away, it just it's gonna really destroy some decks or
Then-
just destroy the
Then I'm playing
format almost.
Ginyu again.
Yeah,
I'm playing
exactly.
Okay,
Let me
here's
drop
20
17
cards.
dudes.
To be fair, it sucks that Cell Zeno got erotic, so I would be just turn 2 Cell Zeno and just
Oh man,
I got you down to 4 life and bang.
I'm sad I wasn't able to play in the regional this past weekend because I was gonna bring back an old favorite. It still has the turn 2 capability of winning, even if I go first. So
Oh, yeah.
it's the Red Baby Red Green Alliance. The way I go, because I run the DB4 Gohan that has a pay 1 green warp it, and at the end of your opponent's turn play it, and you can cut yourself up 2. And it has a self cutter that's an activate main. So if you go first, you go ability, pay 1, warp Gohan. End of their turn, you have it come in and play. If they didn't do any damage, you cut yourself for 2. Your next turn 2, you use your ability to bring yourself to 4. Pay 2, Piccolo Jr. Piccolo Jr. Eradicator, Nappa, or if you did a minus 5k on one of the battle cards, Goku one hit wonder, just so you can have an alliance target. Swing with Piccolo Jr. Do all the shenanigans. Awaken, restand 2, play another Piccolo Jr. Do your shenanigans with that, and it just kind of repeats. So
Yeah, it sounds
it's
like
not
a very Piccolo Jr. gas deck. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is set up more to win turn 3, turn 4, but it does have the possibility of a turn 2 win. It's just it needs to kind of be against the right deck that doesn't have any negates, and gas versus gas, it can win turn 2.
Well, yeah, with the Black Mass Saiyan, why I brought it up, where it can
Yeah.
be an issue, is like decks like Jiren, it literally kills the deck, like Eric was mentioning to me before in chat. He's like, yeah, you put in Black Mass Saiyan, this deck is finished. And then there's other decks as well like that, like you were mentioning with the Ginyu.
Yeah.
So that's just the issue with the Silver Bullet in it, is that there's decks that literally can be playable or at a competitive level if it could be, just because of one card,
Yeah.
Yeah, I vibe that. Like that hurts my Jiren so much, but there are ways to get around it. But it sucks so much sometimes when you just because it's a card game. You're always gonna have RNG in opening, and when you're honestly shuffling and your opponent's honestly cutting your deck. Some games you just don't open with the answer, and they open with Black Masked, and then your deck can't do what it's supposed to do for like 2-3 turns until you draw that answer. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Me,
true.
It's funny. I like Black Mass being there because it's an illusion of safety whenever people's playing against Android 18. Because I sit down with 18 and they go Black Mass saying this is going to answer it. It's going to get rid of their hand every time they play a clone, and then they draw into it. They go Black Mass, go. This is good. And then I go, okay, cool. Activate main, return it to your hand. And then that's when it's right away. They're like, son of a bitch, this does nothing for me. And it's like, yeah, it killed a turn for you. Thank you. Because everybody forgets that Android 18 bounces a 1-drop.
I think that during that set, a lot of the thing was bouncing 1-drops back to hand. Or blue was completely centered around just bouncing cards back to hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the worst period for blue too. Like I remember when this deck first came out, like it was just unplayable from the box. Everyone was trying to make clones work, and they were just dying to like I think it was like baby or whatever was popular at the time. It was just killing them before they could really do
Yeah,
anything.
I think at the time people ran Red Baby that had the one drop that you can put things underneath it. Because back when I used to run the Red Blue Android 18, I used to have the one drop Baby in my deck as a counter to the mirror match. Because it's just take one of your own battle cards, put it underneath it, and then if your leader's this and you go through the chain, but none of that matters. You just eat every clone your opponent gives you. I did it against Robert Rizzi actually in one of the regionals. Or I think it was like round 5 or round 6 mirror match, and I trunks away his Frieza, and then my next turn I played out the baby, ate every single battle card on my board, and he goes, "Yeah, that's cute. You win."
That's it, the game ends. Yeah.
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 Was there anything else on the docket that I'm missing here?
Hmm.
Don't go to Applebee's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Applebee's.
There we go. That works too. Okay. Welcome everybody to Team Talk number 17 here. We got a special guest, Eric Sellitto here from DBM. Everyone give him a round of applause here. Thank you for coming by. But today we're going to be going through the SCRs that were revealed on Sunday. We can talk about that spoiler leaked one just because it's supposed to come out tomorrow, but we're filming this Tuesday. It comes out on Wednesday. You guys will probably see it on Thursday. But I don't know if we got that picture. We'll deal with that later, but everyone already knows what it is, the Panzino. I know Eric is hyped about that. But yeah, you know what? Who wants to take it away first here? Let's go. Frank, you go first. Whichever one. One of you guys fight over it.
Oh,
Yeah. I'll take you there.
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. I'm like, go for it.
Yeah. So, what are we looking at? Facebook here?
Yeah, I'm like,
You
There you
were
go.
scrolling down the news
I'm like,
feed.
Karl,
Just-
Wrong tab.
Just,
Unicorn. Fuck.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, as obviously as we had seen a few of the SCRs, they were a little underwhelming for me. Honestly, I do think 2 of them were really good. I'll leave one of them for our guest there, but my favorite, honestly, it's the one that we have revealed here, the red blue one. I think there's a lot more potential to this than people give it credit. A lot of people are looking at it in the sense that it's blue and it doesn't beat Baby Hatch, and it's going to be useless because it doesn't beat Baby Hatch. But they're forgetting the fact that it's also says red. You can play it in your red leaders. It doesn't have to be your blue leader, or you can play it in any of the leaders that you see that's pictured on here. I mean, Kefla, Kel, whichever. But it's your 5th super combo, essentially, which can get you out of something. And for 2, you can either play a 40k double strike crit for 2 energy, which you can never say that's wrong, or you're removing 4 battle cards from your opponent's board. So no matter which way you look at it, as an aggressive card or a defensive card, I think it's all around just really good. And I think it's going to be one of the 2 money cards out of the SCRs.
Yeah, if I could touch on it, what people forget, like launch to me is like one of the only hopes Red has right now at being decent. And this is a 0+10 that sets up for a rival. So use 0+10 combo this card, drawing a card while you're doing it, and then you're setting up for Hercule Boo, Cooler, all of these like 1-cost cheap beaters. And then you could choose to like get a 40k as well. So like the longer the game goes, this card essentially comes down with a 40k along with like a bunch of other 1-cost arrival cards at the same time. That's the way I'm looking at it. You're not just getting a double strike crate, you're getting like 3 double strikers or 2 double strikers. You're minusing a bunch of cards and you're getting like insane amounts of value out of it.
Yeah, if you're playing this with red removes battle cards itself on its own, so you would probably play this on board, and it's a 40k double strike crit. And if you're playing it in launch, like Eric said, it's pretty strong.
And imagine turn 4, you go in and you combo this one, pay the 2 for this ability, arrival and 2 coolers because they're in hand, minus away their board, and you just drop 2 double strikes with one of, or 3 double strikes with one of them having crit, and it's like, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, no, I like it. And unless you're playing like the rival seeker strategy, red blue doesn't really have a lot of arrival setup, like easy arrival setup outside of the Beerus super combos. So like having another one that sets up Arrival easy to me is a win for the color combo at least.
Yeah.
Mm.
But one card people never look into anymore is, I mean, it's not the best card, but you could tap one energy with the Frieza combo and it gives a card crit. So let's say you arrival a cooler, you could swing with the cooler, you tap one with launch, it replaces it, you draw one, now you got a 25k double striker. And if you have this on board, that's, you know what I mean? If they have to take the damage,
Yeah, you can just do
that's
crit pressure, crit aggro.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And with launch, she has a big hand, so if they're comboing out or wasting the gates, you're gonna have a way larger hand size. You're probably gonna have a bigger board, and it's still easy to remove cards essentially if you're playing blue red. So
Yeah, I could vibe on that. I can only touch on launch because that's the deck I've been playing throughout the Unison Warrior block. But like I'm sure you could find other usages. I don't know if it's better than Gohanks and Cooler because Gohanks is just it mills the board, it destroys things in barrier, gives you a blocker. But I could see if you're trying to do any aggro strategy with blue red, it fits the bill.
Yeah, it does. Do you want to switch?
Yeah, I
You-
think we
you
touched.
cut
I
out
think
there.
we touched on this one about
Okay.
as much as we can. Anybody have any other
Yeah.
input on this SCR?
The only thing I was gonna say is, fuck, you run on launch. There we go, girl power. You got all the females there beating the absolute shit out of you. But
yeah.
let's go to the
You
next
wait
one
till I
here.
come out with my bola. My bola deck is going to do some damage.
So this is the secret rare that I really liked. Green
for it.
yellow arrival, like you said. You know, you pay two. It's the same thing as the blue red, but it's different. Either it's a dual attacker on board, and it's kind of like a Ribrianne as well. So I'm interested in this one anyways. Like I like this secret rare. Plus the artwork, I could see it foiled. It probably looks pretty badass.
Oh yeah, it's gonna look sexy.
You
It's gonna
know,
be really good into that search shell deck. It's gonna be really good.
that's I know Jay bought as soon as he saw this, he's just like, oh yeah, OG Broly, instead of ribbing turn 2, just play this, so it's rib and 40k. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
This
it's
card is
cracked.
nutty, man. To me, it's nutty. I think this is one of the best, the better SCRs that this color combination has gotten. I know Cell Xeno like set the bar, but now that that card is neutered, this card is insane. It also worries me that like a deck like Cell Surge is getting a game-changing kind of SCR right before Nationals. I think this card you'll easily see this in a lot of Cell Surge decks. It's instead of
Yeah.
like you said, instead of punishing passion, you save a punishing passion in the drop. You get a blocker for the whole game, or like it's gonna be hard to remove this on turn 2 unless you're maining cards to remove like max power or something. But you're getting a big ass blocker, and then you're discarding 2 from their hand. So to me,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
worst comes to worst, you're still probably having a blocker. You're still probably having a blocker. You're doing the rib effect, so that's still going down. But like the next turn, unless they got like max power, they still got to ditch that from their hand to get rid of this. So you essentially take 3 cards of their hand from that, and it's just like, sure, whatever. You got rid of my block. I got rid of 3 cards in your hand. I'm winning this game because Cell Surge.
Yeah, for a hand control deck, if they have to spend more resources to get rid of the card, to me you're playing their game and you don't want to play their game.
Yeah. And not just that, like since it's 0 plus 10k, one card that would be really good to rival with this as well. For 3 energy, essentially you could get this on board and the Android 13. And the Android 13, when it's their turn, they lose 2 battle cards. So you're getting good board removal and you know what I mean? I mean getting off the hand destruction aspect. You could rival some pretty key cards with this. That'll give you quite advantage, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it gives you insane advantage. I feel like the fact that all these SCRs are 0 plus 10 and they're multicolor and they set up for arrival along with their effects, it's something people could easily overlook. It could really help when deck building or keep coming up with a strategy. 0 plus 10 is super relevant, like on an SCR too. So like the worst
Yeah.
usage of this card is just comboing it away. So
Yeah, it's true if you're going for game, you know. If you're tapped out but you want to go for game, you have this. It's a 0 plus 10k. It's
Still another
a super
10K.
combo that don't draw. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely SCR for a few of the hand destruction decks that exist in the meta right now, and even in the non-meta. Like this one for me, if I pull it, it's probably going to go with my Android 13 deck. Not saying it's a very good deck, but the deck itself doesn't really have an SCR that kind of screams play me. But this one fills in that gap.
Yeah,
True.
that's another thing too with hand control decks. Which hand control deck goes like turn 5 and beyond? Like none really, right? Unless they're getting completely stalled out. So there's no no reason at all to have this like Cell Xeno instead of this. Because just like maybe the Boo, like I know people with Cell Surge have been experimenting with that new Boo SCR, like just for that like kind of offensive, like that baby hatch take their unison basically. But I still think this thing is like pretty cracked with hand control.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about building a green yellow set 1 golden Frieza, and if I had this card, I would throw this into the yellow Frieza deck, the set 1. It just came in second recently, mono yellow, but even a mono yellow build, you could still use this card.
You're
Just,
bringing up memories from today. I got fucking slaughtered by. We went to like turn 16, dog. We literally
Yeah.
he didn't touch my life until I had like 11 energy, and I was Gogeta ramp, so I couldn't do a goddamn thing. I couldn't find any of the cards to cut me down. So I was like, yeah, I got 2 cards in hand, and I'll charge, and I'll do Zeno pass.
Yeah, because golden Frieza, like, you untap so much with it, right? So it wouldn't be hard to get this guy out. And then with the green yellow build, my idea was bring him out and Android 13 pass. They're gonna probably have no board presence, and then I could do my power of a Super Saiyan shenanigans, etc. So I think this would be pretty strong in set 1 golden Frieza.
Could be, yeah.
Well,
And the fact that it's a dual attack or a blocker, like you can do the same thing you do with Gohanks, where you can poke one swing in per turn and leave it as a blocker, or on a kill turn you just swing twice with it. It's 40k, so
Yeah,
you're getting the damage in if it's getting through.
Yeah, exactly.
especially in hand control. Who the hell's gonna combo up to 45k with that? If they can, you're not doing your job right.
To me, you're gonna use that in hand control to kill unisons, right? You're gonna that's what you're gonna swing on with this card. Just hit the unison so they never get to stick like a Piccolo Junior or something that's in a plus their hand.
And you
But
still
this is
rip Rian.
starter, so it's going to go in starter Frieza, and that deck's going to become relevant all of a sudden. Because
Maybe.
you auto turn 2 on their turn before your 3 to get this out on the board as a blocker, and then you bring into your Dark Brawly, just keep giving him crit, and then your 1 swing in with this guy that gives your opponent a card. You use the +2 to make them discard it.
We just need also Zeno Gogeta to leave the meta, and then Raditz might be on board as well.
Yeah, that's true. If only Raditz can draw.
Carl's like, no, come on,
No,
guys,
no, no.
please.
It's like, don't bring up Raditz.
Don't bring up
Uh,
Zeno Gogeta leaving. That's
no,
what
no,
he.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Karl's still
Leader
waiting
lock,
for that
I don't
Surge,
know.
Surge Bardock.
Surge. Yeah.
That'll be when they bring the blue yellow unison for
Man.
Bardock, buddy. Don't worry.
I hope.
Carl's been really hoping that they make a blue yellow Surge Bardock leader.
Everybody has been waiting.
Yeah.
for the yellow
Everybody
surge.
has.
So any guys want to put more in this card? I think, like, for my part, it's like not broken. It's good effects, and it's flexible. So you gotta see this card SCR everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's. I do like the 4s that they're doing. Now it's the Wickeds. No one would fucking guess what these SCRs were gonna be. Like how
Mhm.
everything's 4s and there's 4 SCR. I guess the last one it's only 1, but the Wicked Saiyans, Radiant Saiyans, it's cool. Like, but
Yeah.
having Raditz, Broly, and Turles and Goku, it's like just all. It's definitely they went Broly. They're like, okay, yeah, green, definitely we got to put Broly on here. Turles, he's in the set, we got to do that. Goku Black, just like everyone loves Goku Black for being like most relevant Saiyan that was shown in like Super, I guess, whatever, like
Yeah.
evil. And then there's like, I guess Raditz were rebooting him in the set. Yeah, fuck, throw him. I don't know who else to put in there. What?
Yeah, we're gonna
Throw
put
him in
Raditz in there.
Yeah. But,
But the fact that the Goku Black is on the green yellow triggered me a little bit.
no,
Yeah,
you're
it's-
forgetting. You're forgetting set 2. Or sorry, set 3. I think is either set 2 or set 3 when the green Zamasu and Goku
three.
Black stuff were.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's set, I think
That's
set
true.
3.
It's been a long
Yeah.
time, and the draft box. I think draft box 5 or 4, whatever one the
5.
5. So the Goku, there's a Goku Black and Zamasu that go into the 7 drop, the old set 3 one. So
Yeah,
they used to be green. It used to be a blue-green deck until like fuck it, blue yellow. Let's go.
yeah. Well, still, there's yellow into it, but I'd rather see blue yellow. But fine.
See, there's some. They at least had green ones. Because I remember that the green one, the one that played tokens, was like that was the really good one. People even ran that with veggies. Like they were running
Yeah.
out of time with the Ginyu leader, just because it was just another sand and you could pop it off. But yeah, after the blue monocolored, the 3 specified cost barrier, play 3 shadow tokens, everyone's like, "Fuck green, we're running this mono blue." Like. But yeah, let's see that next one. This. Yeah, I saw this and I got a raging heart on the Vermilion Saiyans over here. Oh yeah, this is as a SS4 Bardock player. By that I mean I got the deck. That's one of the decks that isn't completely deconstructed. This thing's amazing. I like it. Obviously looks better than it actually is because you have to warp cards to get the +5. But just think about it. Best case scenario, 5 cards. Someone goes stupid wide against you. You have your colors in the right order. You negate with that, wipe their board, and you're like, well, I'm 40k for the turn. Have fucking fun. Like, just that alone. It's just hilarious. Then again, everyone was pointing out that it doesn't specify your battle area. So even if it's 2 multicolored decks going at each other, you could potentially get the full effect on it. As well, a silver bullet against SS4. It's just like, well, you got all your colors there. You got a wide board. You got all these 2 costs against me. I'll do this and send you to hell. Because it ignores barrier. I don't know. I love this card. That's all I got to say. Now that I got an SCR, I can take Heroine's Lineage out and put this bad boy in.
And it's searchable.
It's searchable. SS4.
It's searchable.
It's cards like this that give me PTSD to never vomit on a battle card. Like, I like these kind of cards. Like, tell me like when I'm in the combo step and they say no negates, you're not safe. Like, even if they're bluffing you, like, it's so risky to dump on a battle card these days that like, there's so many things that could blow it up. Hurons could just steal it. This like barrier cards aren't even safe anymore. It's just goodbye. See you.
Then again, you wouldn't be able to dump, right? Because it'd be counterattack when this is shown.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is counterattack. That's true.
Yeah, so it's counterattack. It doesn't negate it, so it's kind
That's true.
yeah. So it's kind of risky if you're doing it. Like people might be playing around. Like, okay, let's swing with leader first, or swing with unison
Well,
here.
still, if it's leader first,
You
but
might want to use
still.
your other negate too. But then again, it's, as soon as you get to the battle card, it's just like if you got the energy, you're doing it. And if you're playing it in SS4, usually end of the turn, restanding your blue, using the Sensu Bean to restand the red and the green so you can have a counterplay or a counterattack option. Because you just got to pay 1 blue and restand any 2 energy. But, yeah, even the
real
4
quick
effect.
question.
Yeah, go for
Quick
it.
question. The blue-red SCR, it has the Califla tag on her as well, right?
Yep.
Or is it just Kale?
No, Kale, Caulifla, Guinea BR, and Bulla.
Okay, not that I think it's going to be relevant, because I really don't think it will be. But Saiyan Teamwork Kaba can play this.
Yeah,
See,
that's a thing. Search top
Yeah.
10 and just play a 40k double strike crit.
Yeah, so if you're playing, like, say, a blue Desire leader, and you do assemble the squad for Saiyan Teamwork Kaba and look at top 10, and you hit this, you can play that for no energy. Not that I think it's going to be relevant, I'm just curious.
Everyone's gonna go watch this video.
That look
They're
on
gonna go buy out
Lucas's
the-
face.
Lucas is buying this out before. it
That
goes.
look on
He's like,
Lucas's
let's pick up-
face.
Like, let's pick up 2 play sets of this before we upload this to YouTube, and then I'll be good. Then I'll be
Guys, I am rich. No. Damn. Okay, I will.
So with this secret rare, I find this secret rare has the nicest artwork. Like I could just picture this foiled. It's probably the nicest one out of the 3 that we just seen.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
still, you guys
really
just
sad.
glanced over that fucking part. I'm still floored by that. What the actual hell? This I still have this King Vegeta deck put together, and since it doesn't have Earthling on it, it's a Saiyan only card. This might be. I didn't want to buy that one, but maybe I'm gonna have to now just to run around with a
Oh
stupid
snap!
fucking deck.
There's your SCR and your Teamwork Kaba can just pull it off the top of the deck.
Wait, so King Vegeta could play this for free?
If you play on
Oh,
Teamwork Kaba.
yeah, I just have my veggies in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you're running veggies under King Vegeta.
yeah,
So this is
I'm a
just an
fucking
easy.
fool.
So this is just an easy slot in for it.
Oh yeah, it's just because it doesn't have Earthling because they forgot to put that. They forgot Bulla was half Earthling, so fuck it.
No need to mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
Well, at least it's.
And I watches the video. They errata.
Rada SCR Earthling. Hey, if they throw Earthling tag on that, then that's searchable, but like shit like everybody's pal Yamcha and that. So maybe they don't want to do that. I
Fuck
don't
it,
know.
Saiyan Teamwork Kaba just to bring out a 40k and wait, what does it say it has to be played from for that effect?
Nothing. It has for the
Permanent, right?
for the what's the name? Removing 4 cards. It has to be played by its effect. But having double strike and crit, your leader just needs to be red, blue, or one of the ones on it. So you wouldn't be able to remove 4 cards if you did it off the Teamwork
I
Kaba's
don't give a
ability.
fuck.
But you'd be dropping out double strike crit 40k off of the Teamwork Kaba.
Damn.
I got rid of my playset of that.
Fuck it, we're making set 15 veggies, baby. King Vegeta, horrible King Vegeta leader. Then again, I guess it's still better than the other one because it can play cards. But
Yeah.
You're gonna do veggies out of a blue or red. What's the name? Wish leader, so you can assemble the squad into Teamwork Kaba.
You know what? I think you're onto something here. We're going back to OG triple attack Shenron. We're gonna assemble the squad. We're gonna bring it out, and then we're gonna triple attack 50k double strike crit on turn 2 if we're lucky, and we get all the balls.
hey, this is where we're putting it down here. Everyone, it's gonna be the worst SCR. Don't touch it. It should be $5. Sell it me every copy for $5. Thank you.
Yeah. Just cut this part. Just don't put it in.
I'm only putting this part in. This is just gonna be a 30-second video. Just don't fucking buy this SCR. It's dog shit. Don't buy any of them. They're so horrible. And then I just gotta tell Evan U7 to do it, and everyone will believe it.
So lastly, we said we're going to touch on the fourth and final SCR there. I think we'll allow Eric take that one away. He's been calling it for how many years now?
Oh, I've been calling it for the past. When did Heroes first put out Xenopan?
So I didn't even read the effects. So someone just go through the effects here because I saw the picture and then when I went to go click it on again, it was gone. So I think the Bandai police got the guy, shot him in the back of the head or something. But go on.
He's in the next season of a Squid Game.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
I got 2 episodes left of that shit. That's what I'm watching after this while I'm editing.
How is that? Is it good?
Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
I like it.
Eric,
Eric, did you want to read off the card?
Oh yeah.
get loose.
Pan. Oh man, my camera's up there. There we go. Pan Time Patrol Maiden. If you have 3 or more energy counterattack, play this card. Your opponent can't attack with battle cards for the turn. You can't activate the counter skill on copies of this card for the game. So they're essentially preventing you from looping this effect because you can bounce this card back probably somehow. For each battle card in play, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. And then it has an activate main. Remove this card from the game and then steal one of your opponent's battle cards. It doesn't ignore barrier, but not bad, right? The key things I'm looking at for this card, because it's you bet I've already made like 5 decks with this thing. So you can discount this card to 0. So even if you don't want to use it as a baby hatch, this essentially could just be a 40k that you just play for free. You can just play it in an aggro deck, turn 2, slap it down like it was Cell Xeno, 40k, slap a chomp on it, 50k for 1 energy commitment. Not the end of the world. Like, bounce her back to hand, you could kind of keep playing her, right? There's a card that I'm looking at right now. I'm trying to, before I say this and look like an idiot on YouTube, Remember that Kabito Kai from set 2 that you tap it, you bounce it?
Kabito Kai from set. Is that the blue one?
It's like the blue one, yeah. Like people use it to do the Whis loop in Beerus ramp. You would like play Whis, you would tap him, you would bounce Whis back and gain infinite turns.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to remember if it's restricted to blue card, but if it's not, you could essentially loop this card, play it, swing, bounce, swing.
Carl's opening the Bible.
Yeah.
I'm not on that, but I'm on something else.
What Carl's looking at, I'm gonna put this one out there just because I know how much everybody loves my concoction. I actually think this is the replacement for Baby Hatch in Android 18. Because there's gonna be 4 battle cards on the board because I put them on your side, so it's gonna be free for me, and I don't have to pitch a card with this one to get the negate, which Baby Hatch makes me pitch a card, and then it also has the steal a battle card from my opponent, which Baby Hatch doesn't have. So I can put this into Android 18 instead of Baby Hatch, and get the same effect essentially, but now I also have a Heroine's Lineage attached to it.
Because you need a heroine's leader, right? Or what's the? There's any restriction on this shit? What's the restriction?
On this one, no restriction.
Okay.
And then I don't have to discard a card like Hatch has to. Hatch stops unisons and leaders. This one does not. However, it's reduced by 2 for every battle card, but like tokens are still battle cards. So like if I have my Android 16 on the board that generates 2 more tokens, the minute I say go and you get 4 clones, this thing is now free.
Wow.
Ugh, disgusting.
I was looking for that.
Love you guys.
Lucas hates it.
Oh yeah, you just keep taking it. That's true. This card also doesn't have that effect where if it gets removed from an area, it gets removed from the game. It's
That's
only
why
when
they
you
took
use
it
the
off.
activate main, yeah.
So
It's only when
what?
you use the activate main that you kind of remove it from the game. So like, if you kind of kill it somehow, like, I think he's on to something with that leader. You could just take it back.
Yeah, like this card's activate main once per turn burst 3. You can choose 1 black battle card with energy cost of 3 or more, and in your drop and add it to your hand. Then this card gains 5k for the duration of the turn. So either way, they got rid of this card and put it into your drop. You can just activate main burst 3 and just add it back to your hand and free play it again. Imagine if fucking Belmont was still alive. That would be insane.
Yeah,
would be
Belmont's
beautiful.
still alive. Well, okay, so I did this 40k swing, Belmont, take it back, give my leader crit, play it again. Oh shit, I didn't overwhelm for the turn. Don't give me a sec.
I'm just gonna put it out there, and people are complaining about thwarting. Just
So this is how you do it. You
Yeah.
get it on the board with the negate. Like I said, if you swing, you get rid of it somehow after, like if Belmont was still around, but use something to get rid of it. Bring it back with the burst 3 off your leader ability. Play it again for free. Swing it for swing in again for 40. I don't know how you're gonna get rid of it again, but get rid of it again. Use the overrealm of the trunks to bring back a card that's 7 costs and more from your warp back to your hand. Bringing this back to your hand. Play it again for free.
That's it. Like we've changed it. Everyone looked at this card like a baby hatch, but we're defining pan aggro right here. You just get the secret rare and then you just loop it.
That's right.
that
No,
was
I
awesome.
do think I think it's going to be a snap swap for Hatch, and I never thought I'd ever say Hatch needs to be swapped out of a defensive blue deck, but I think this one's going to be swapping it out in the Android 18 deck.
I mean, the card looks better too.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's-
That's
hey.
true. You're not wrong.
I'm still surprised you haven't said hashtag Pan is my best friend yet.
And hashtag pan is my best friend. I stole that from Evan Glover, but this is what we're going through with the community group. This is the hashtag I'm gonna steal and use for myself. Maybe Bondi will like see this hashtag and reboot Red Pan. That's the ultimate goal. But
But what would they do to what would they need to do to reboot that leader for you to be content with it?
like in terms of what the power would look like on the card.
Yeah, what would the leader? What skill text would they have to remove the 15 or greater to get the draw? Like whatever.
I've sent the skill text. I've created this leader, and Bondi read it. So they didn't
Okay.
respond, but they've read it. Essentially, what I think the perfect way is, you need her to be attack and draw on the front side, but she needs like an alternate awake Awaken condition. So I was looking at like the blue Vegito, the starter deck blue Vegito, you just block your Awaken turn 1 with them. So Pan, to me, it still needs to revolve around like 15Ks. So my alternate condition would be if you play a battle card or Unison with 15k power or more, you could just flip her over to the backside. So you still have to play like the style of Pan. You're committed to a deck of 15k battle cards or more, and then you interact with Unisons as well, because that's what made her kind of irrelevant. Yeah, she wasn't able to use Unisons well. So whenever you played a Unison, you kind of missed your draw on the front side. That always sucked. So instead, if you allow the Unison interaction, won't be so crappy anymore. And then the backside, I feel like it was perfect the way it was. Swing, draw once per turn when you play a battle card, draw a card. Maybe just add Unison into that flavor. Pump the Unison by 5k. If it's 20k or more power, draw a card. That way you could be playing Unisons or battle cards to keep cycling draw. And you could do cute things by making like a 25k Unison as a finisher or something like that. Go Hanks would be a 45k dual attacker from the -4.
Even those weird unisons like the King Piccolo, the what is he, dual attack crit?
Yep,
Slap another
exactly.
5k on that. What, I think he's 19, so 24k dual attack crit. It becomes a lot scarier.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. So give her a Unison interaction, and I feel like she's back in the game. She's not going to be completely busted, but she'll be able to keep up with the decks that are playing today. And that's all I'm asking for. I'm trying not to be punished for committing a battle card, then get Zamatsu'd, and then I don't get to play a battle card, and then I don't draw for the turn, and then I just lose in hand size game.
What do you guys think will come after Unison though? Because Unison is like the main thing right now.
They're gonna
Do you
extend
think
it
they'll
again.
evolve? Yeah, do
They're
you
gonna
think they'll
extend it
evolve
again.
the game?
The unison. My theory on it was multicolor is the next step. What they're doing with this, multicolor unisons are eventually going to happen. I still remember when multicolor cards came out, right before set 6, right after set 6. Yeah, it was right after set 6 because set 6 was still the last monocolor block for that thing. It came out April 1st, and everyone thought it was an April Fool's joke. Like when they put the fucking cards out, like everyone, at least at my locals, like, oh, it's just an April Fool's joke. And then nope, here's the Janimba stuff, the blue, yellow, and the Bojack blocker and stuff. So it's just a matter of time before they brand to Unisons, because it seems like this has been one of the, I don't know if most popular time, but I think it is definitely the most popular time in the game right now for people joining in and stuff, because it's people that come from like Magic and stuff, like, oh, Planeswalkers, this kind of reminds me of that stuff, but they're a lot more integral to our game. And just seeing older decks being revived because of Unisons, especially like any blue deck that was old, like I was playing today, that Gogeta ramp that I know Aspira loves, but that Zeno Unison fucking kicks that deck up, like where you can actually play it. Is it a great deck? God, no. But at least it becomes semi-playable. Like, you can actually do stuff and interact. And then you get that 10 drop down, that ramp 6. Oh, you're only at 14. Oh, you got Zeno Unison. There you go. There's your 15. See you later. I'll do my activate main and bottom deck for your life. But I think they're going to try to extend it.
Yeah, but what I was trying to get at is, if they were to move away from Unisons in general, what do you think the next evolution of the game would be if nobody no longer played Unison because it wasn't worth playing?
We're going to have an extra deck.
Yeah, so the thing is, I don't see them getting I don't see them getting rid of Unisons, and I do see the multicolor Unisons eventually coming into play. I think going into our next block is their main focus, not necessarily for the theme or whatever. The main focus, I think, is going to be the 6th color, because they already said they're bringing in a 6th color.
Yeah.
So with that, with all, we're 15 sets in, with 15 sets that already have the pre-existing 5 colors. If they're going to invent another color, aside from making black as its own color, if they're going to bring in another one, they have to hit it hard with the new sets, or else you don't really have much choice from it. So I think the big focus is going to be that new color going into the next set, or even the next block.
Well,
I'm going to guess the new color is going to be orange.
Yeah, orange would make sense for Dragon Ball, but don't hate me, Bandai. I hope you don't do it.
I see them doing purple. They're going to do purple.
Sake of game balance, and they've been struggling so long with giving black its own color identity. Like, we still don't have black cards full out with black specified. We still have some cards that have it, some cards that don't have it. I feel like they're still struggling with black to like figure it out, that like introducing another color and not be the best thing for the game. That's just my take on it. I'm all around game balance, and seeing another color, I'm just seeing more chaos.
Yeah.
I think the new color
More
should just
errata.
be them
Yeah.
basically making black into its own color. Keep the the colorless black cards that already exist, but I think they just need to continue going the route of black specified and black costs and their abilities, and just kind of make it into its own color, like it's already pretty much become.
It
Maybe,
is. This
Yeah.
is what I. Yeah, this is
maybe
what I think they should do.
It was just
Uh,
late to the
they're
party.
gonna go. Maybe they're gonna go the trend of the. I know back in the days into Magic, the Eldrazi, when they came out and they go into the colorless route, like no colors at all. Maybe they're gonna go there. I don't know.
I've seen
have that
some
be the
talk
sixth
about
color?
that. Yeah.
It's not a 6 color in a way. It's like
Yeah, the sixth color is the
void.
colorless color.
It's void.
And then make black into its actual color. I can
That's-
see that happening, but they don't need to reinvent another color when they're already kind of trying to establish black. I feel like they're just kind of going to be biting off more than they can chew, and they're going to have some emergency bans involved. They're going to mess something up and come out with something that's just they're going to be like, oh, we didn't see that interaction.
Or
yeah.
maybe we're gonna see cards like art, like not fields but artifact wise cards in Dragon Ball, like tools that you. Well,
They're
for those who play
Magic.
Magic, is
Yeah,
like
they're
it's a
like tools
permanent.
almost.
Yeah, it's a permanent that you play on the field or an extra card, but it stays there. It's not a field; it's something else. I don't
Mm.
know. Like
yeah, and they have effects. You could sacrifice them. There's some of them produce energy for.
yeah,
It's
Easiest
like
way, think of it like if you put a statue on the board or whatever, something like that, something that's there, but it's not something that can attack, and it's not the field that they're fighting on. Think of it's like it's a Hercule statue on the board, and it does plus 5k to to
like,
somebody.
like a sigil in Magic.
He's the
You're
world.
gonna-
Yeah,
you're gonna pay one for something that's gonna hit the board, and that's something you gotta pay one and put it sideways, and it give you red or green mana, whatever.
yeah.
Mm.
I'm still trying to make Jackie Chun viable again. We
Hey.
got to bring back the master.
Oh, and Bandai, can you give this deck some good cards and not that shit fucking
Not a
card?
cooler.
hey, the red one was pretty decent. I won my
This one?
the pre-release tournament with that. Yeah.
That
I-
this is good, but I don't know why they printed that one drop though. Like, why can you at least if we played the unison from the deck in rest mode, I would say okay, fine, but I
Yeah.
need to get it into my hand. Pretty
I-
stupid.
I think Dragon Ball. I know this is kind of going off topic or whatnot, just because we were talking about Magic. I think like Magic did before. I think Dragon Ball needs to come out with a joke set. That was probably my funnest times in playing Magic. They're sets that were meant to be draft that you couldn't even. They had a different color border, so they weren't even allowed to be played in regular Magic. But the cards were literally a joke. Like in Magic, there are the unhinged ones where it was, one of them they had an ability called Denim Walk, which was it was unblockable if your opponent was wearing denim. Or other ones that was like it was I remember it was, I'm rubber, you're glue, and it had an ability where you had to speak in rhyme the entire game, or else you sacrificed the card. And anytime your opponent targeted you or one of your battle cards, you would say, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you, and you choose a new target.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun, a lot of jokes, and the pre-releases were great because I remember one of the promos that everybody got was destroy target card that you can see from your seat. So you'd be hollering across the street, hollering across the hall or room, asking, "Oh, who has something that's bothering them?" And you'd freaking destroy it from your seat, like interacting with other games. It was just a very fun set.
there was that
Um,
one that I remember. I think it was a spell, and totally on the card it says rip this card in little pieces.
Oh, chaos
And-
confetti.
Yeah, and throw it on the table, and everything that the confetti hits, every card that hits, it get destroyed.
Funny thing, actually, that was a homage to the original card Chaos Orb, because Chaos Orb came out back in the 90s, and that card said you had to pay an ability, and it was you stood up and you threw it onto the table, and any card that it landed on, they sacrificed. So a guy showed up to a big regionals with like 40 some copies of that card, and every time he played it, he pulled it out of the sleeve, ripped the card into shreds, and threw it on the board. And technically, that wasn't against the rules. The card got banned right after that regionals because they were like, it's not against the rules because it says whatever the card's touching, and technically a piece of the card is still a card. And yeah, he just showed up to the regionals with like 40 copies of it, so he can keep running the same deck throughout the whole day. And yeah, they banned the card right after that weekend, and they made Chaos Confetti as a homage to this guy finding out how to break a card.
That's awesome.
It's-
Judge, come over here.
Hmm.
Comes over, ripped card all spread across the table.
Did you rip
Yeah.
that guy's card? No, I ripped my own. I got the effect. All his shit's gone.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Oh man. But yeah.
Well,
Ah,
Oh yeah, no. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I think what they're doing with current sets and everything, I think they're doing things right. I think you just can't really appease the masses. Everybody complains about things being too strong, and then they come out with things that aren't as strong, and then people complain that they're too weak. And it's like, well, what do you guys want? You want strength, or you want weakness? And I feel like there's going to be some surprises out of this next set. I still can't wrap my head around Vegeta, the green Vegeta. I feel like it's either going to be really good or really bad, but we're not going to know until like it actually comes out.
really bad.
I have the same idea.
Yeah.
I have the same idea of the Goten deck, red one. I think
Really
like,
bad.
on my
Yeah.
part, like as I said it from the start. Like each time I saw a Goten card, I was like, at the start of this, when they did the leader, they didn't know where they were going. At least if you're gonna go into the father and family Kamehameha thing, they should have printed like more support for their Burnhand that we had few sets ago that was kind of functional.
Yep,
I
that
think
was that deck was fun. Like, cause that
Yeah.
deck you put a bunch of different stuff in it. My take on that was with the 1-drop Jiren, the draft box one, is you just put a bunch of 10Ks in the deck, and since it's a burst 2, you just burn them down till 4 life. You have that Jiren out all game, and then bada bing, swing in with your crit whatever, and if they counter, they have to ditch 2. That was a fun deck,
Yeah.
and it's kind of shitty that they don't have any support for the original like family Kamehameha leader.
yeah, to me that deck, I tried to crack it, and I think Crossworlds put out a video with the battering laser, and I think that's the only thing keeping the deck from being able to be good is it needs a battering. You need to get through on the triple strike, but it's not like Reboot Gohan. It's like a worse Reboot Gohan. You're trying to end the game with the leader's triple strike swing, and you don't have the early game aggression that Reboot Gohan had built into the leader. So even with a battering, if you're playing like the red-yellow, you have to get them to 3. And that's just what's impossible for the deck.
Hmm.
Yeah, the one thing I ask a Bandai is overlook green in general. I don't know, like I moved away from green just to give it a break, but if you stay on the hand destruction aspect, people are upset because it's not interactable or it's not that fun to play against. So if you walk away from hand destruction or just keep it minimal, what are they gonna do with green to make it viable, where it is more interactable, where it is playable? Because if we're all honest, green has been pretty crappy. Or if it isn't, it's only because it's mainly hand destruction. But then people are unhappy playing against it. You know what I mean?
Honestly, they just need to bring back a watered down Tau. Just bring in the silver bullet for hand destruction like Tau was, but don't give it barrier. Because like that's the thing about hand destruction. It has destruction, but it doesn't have barrier destruction. So Tau was it was too much of an answer for hand destruction. So you
Yeah.
just print another card like that, but just don't give it barrier. So green has an ability to be able to remove it, so it's completely not shut down. However, if
Yeah.
you get that on the board, even if it stays for more than one turn, it's gonna slow down hand destruction. So it's still going to do what it needs to do, but it's not going to like completely remove that format from the meta.
But
Well,
then
that's what I
again,
mean, though. Like, they should make green where it moves away from hand destruction and it's still viable and it's still its own color
I would
and it's fun. You know
I
what I
would
mean? Like,
I would see a life gaining deck. Green go life gaining would be kind of nice outside of stupid rejuvenation.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, look at the last life gaining deck that was allowed
Give
to
us-
run rampant. Yeah,
Give us a good Namekian leader and give him some kind of life gain.
Yeah.
I mean, Namekians are, if you go by lore, they're supposed to be able to regenerate and combine and absorb, and I mean, they're gaining life from it. So
King Piccolo did.
They,
Yeah.
they,
He
they,
Yeah,
really,
He
yeah,
fucking
you
did.
should.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
Namekians only feed off water.
They could use Boo though.
I can spell a cup
block
on your
can-
deck for you.
The go on, Eric.
Go ahead,
Yeah, I
Eric.
said that they can use Boo as well for a life gaining leader, like when he was the fat Boo, because like
Oh,
Majin
yeah.
Vegeta completely like obliterated him, and he came back like with all these little
Mhm.
stitches and stuff. So Boo could be another life gaining.
Then again,
Uh,
that's like every Dragon Ball villain except Frieza. Frieza's the only one that you need to go in a pod, make a couple of wishes and shit. Sal is just like, oh yeah, I had my nuclei, whatever, intact. Good
Sure.
luck. But
Can't wait for Moro to get into the game.
We're a few sets from that one.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. They're just they're bringing heroes in a lot, so they might bring them in next block. Who knows?
Charlotte too.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe we're getting a Xenopan leader next. Maybe I'm just pushing it here, but maybe we're getting a Xenopan leader and archetype next, and maybe I'm gonna have to move over to black.
Actually,
he's calling it. He's
I'm-
calling it.
I'm full on into Xeno Gotenks.
Xeno
Xenogotenks?
Gotenks.
Oh yeah, or Goenks, or one of the two that we got a lot of support from, but didn't see plays.
Mm.
The Trunks and the Gohan and everything.
Oh, the yellow one.
No, the black ones.
The
The-
Kai
all
of
the
Time
Xeno-
deck.
Oh yes, okay.
So are
'Cause,
we
like-
gonna see any Limit Breaker SS4, whatever that form's called? Is that the next SCR? The like red hair SS4?
No, the SS4 with the SS3 here. Yeah.
Well, there's that, but before, wasn't it? Is that what it is? Because isn't it like just darker? Like it's like a red-ish tinge they have to it. I haven't watched fucking Heroes.
Well, the red air SS4 is from GD.
That's
just because of
Gogeta, yeah.
Gogeta. But like in the Heroes right now, I think SS4 Gogeta just went overboard, and the black air from SS4 is just longer, and I think the God mode, this SS Blue God mode, Gogeta as the Berserk energy mastered too. I'm
They're just
not
throwing a
sure
bunch
about
of shit. They're just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is like starting to sound like fucking fanfics. Yeah, he was Ultra Instinct, Kaioken times 100, Super Saiyan 3. Just keep listing off every Gohan Calvo, Blanco. Just go through everything.
The writer of Heroes is strictly that little kid us when we watched Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Z and then went on Google and wrote Goku Super Saiyan 5000 and saw like
Yeah.
this insane picture.
His
That's the
hair
writer.
going up the whole screen. He's taking up the whole universe. Just, oh my god, that's his hair. This is
He's so
real.
strong. That is us.
Golden Cooler coming up.
Yeah, Golden King Cold.
Oof.
Fuck it. Let's go through all of it.
They need to bring Cooler in. They have to.
Oh man, no, I still think they need to make a joke set, even if it's a real set, not a joke set, but it's meant to be taken as a joke.
Everyone
Where your
took that for
leaders,
set
like-
14.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
you have your leaders as like the farmer and fucking Bola and fucking Yajirobe, like
I want a old Dragon Ball Red Ribbon deck
I
with
agree.
Yeah.
Corporal Blue guy that scares of girl and everything, and
The pedophile. I want him as a leader.
an
pedophile.
SCR Mr. Popo leader.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
God.
I don't know if it was, like for me it was on like not called, but like most of the Red Ribbon Army are, I think, gay. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
I just know Blue literally was trying to coerce a little boy like at a car. Like I it's funny because it came in my feed recently. It's just like, yo, what the fuck's going on in Dragon Ball? And it's just him. Oh, you like ice cream and all this stuff? And
I mean,
I'm pretty sure that's the guy Tao kills by tonguing him in like the temple. Which thank God.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Tao leader. Here we go. Tao on one side, Cyborg Tao on the other side.
there you go.
World tournament leader. Run the TN package, all that shit in it. Go ham.
that tongue kill should be an SCR.
Yeah, that's or him throwing his shoe to block a bullet. The
Yeah.
coldest motherfucker from Dragon Ball. I can't fly. Snap a tree, snap a pole, just throw it. Okay, it's far enough. Jump on it.
Who needs to fly when you
Yeah.
can throw a tree really far?
Fuck that. Way cooler.
Yeah.
Dude, the human Silver Surfer.
No.
But actually, like he throws farther, but he can't jump and reach it. So usually he jump faster
Oh.
than the boulder.
It makes no sense at all. But it's just it just
Yeah.
looks cool.
Important.
Yeah.
I
But-
mean, technically, if he's as strong as he is, and we just want to break logic, he can fly just by keep kicking the back of the tree.
There you go.
He just wanted to look cool, okay? He just wanted
Yeah.
to ride the tree.
Just
okay?
the drip.
Sound like a Breath of the Wild broken mechanic.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Time stop, arrow. But
So Carl, do you have the winner choices?
The winner.
He's like, what?
Hold up.
He's like, what's a winner?
Oh yeah,
What do you mean by winner?
the winner cards.
The winner ones.
I
The
like
four-
him.
The 4 they chose.
I
I
think
don't
they
know.
were like the event. I mean, the next TP set.
Yeah, this Gohan, King Vegeta 8, Baby, and Videl.
Hold
And
up.
yeah,
do
I
that.
mean, I don't know if you pulled him up right now, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't like them. No, I think they all. I mean, they're all the same exact artwork, just a different person. Like, 3 of them are even still holding like an energy ball in the same exact spot. And for me, there's just no uniqueness. They kind of was just like, oh, let's cut and paste. Change the model from Gohan to Vegeta 8 to Baby, and that's it. And it feels lazy to me.
that was the last one too. The last one was
Yeah.
like that with all their. Here's my mouth. Yeah, and then we got something on the side over here. Like,
Yeah, they just felt very lazy to me. That they didn't put in as much work, I guess. I don't mind the cards. I like the direction that TPs are going. They're weakening them. They're making them where they're not game defining, and you have to chase them. And I think that's the smart choice. But I mean, at least give it some drip.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. I do like that. Okay, the only one that I want to talk about, I want to give Eric his time to shine here, but that fucking card. I don't. Is that a tournament card? Is that a promo card? But that has such a cool effect because we're going more that joke. I don't think it's a joke. I just think it's a cool concept where you're literally playing war with your life. You both. I think it's you both flip a life, and then whoever has the higher cost card, if it's you, then you what? You negate the attack or something. What's the card say there, Carl? I can't blow it up here.
Okay. Counter attack. You and your opponent flip 1 life card face up. If your card has greater power than your opponent's, choose one of your opponent's hand. Choose 1 card in your opponent's hand and 1 of their battle card. Place them in owner's drop, and flip any cards flipped face up by this skill face down.
Like it's a really good effect, but it has that other side to it where you're just like, if I fuck up, I just lost 2 energy. But if not, I can
Yeah.
rip a card in hand and do that. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I like
The artwork is awesome,
Yeah,
man.
it's sick.
It's also like a counter attack, so like you can do that like when they attack with a battle card, and if you win, you just place the card they're
Yep.
attacking with. It's like a negate removal kind of thing.
And
Yeah.
then again, if you're playing anything that's red green that can put like stuff in, like your I'm trying to think of anything where you know your life launch, you're flipping life over and stuff. You know which life you're gonna flip. You're just like, oh, that's a 6 cost. Well, I'll remember that, and I'll do that when I'm flipping that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
you play
technically,
the Bulma
Yeah.
units to change cards in your hand
Yep.
into your life, and then you
Just
know
play
what
big boy in there, and Beat
And
that 10
technically,
cost.
also, like you said, it is a counter attack, and it's not a negate attack. So you flip your card, and then you go, "Hey, I can really use that," and then you just take that card as the damage because it's
True.
not a negate attack. It's just counter attack.
Yep.
So it's free information for you whether you want to take that card or not. I mean, it's also free information for your opponent, but I mean, if you flip a card that you know you just do not need, well, you don't take that as your card for the damage.
Very true.
Not saying the card's going to be worth playing, but I think
cool.
the artwork is snap,
Yeah.
and it's a different interaction. But I think they kind of really stepped it up with the artwork on some of the cards this set as well. Like there's that yellow desire that just gives me nostalgia feels. It's the opening of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Like I'm getting as many foils of that card as I want. I'm never gonna play it probably, but it's a gorgeous card.
I like how you say it's nostalgia feels, and you also got to remember it's the forest burning down and all those poor animals losing their home. Where they're just like, Shenron, please fix this shit. I don't even think
I
it's
don't
in
think it's
promos.
on there.
It's in the set. It's in the set.
No.
It's fine. But
Sorry.
I know we've been rambling
alright.
long enough. That's what we always do on Team Talk here. I know Eric's been sitting there patiently letting everyone talk over each other here, but please tell us what's going on with yourself, DBM. What's up? What's cracking?
No, we're very, I would say, very similar to Berserk. We're much just a group of friends who wanted to start a team. We noticed like the Canadian scene, aside back in the early days, it was just KTM. If you weren't on KTM, nobody knew who you were. So we kind of formed DBM in the sense of showing people that there's other Canadian players that are super good at this game as well. And we wanted to keep it just with our groups of friends. So we kind of just like set aside two different groups. We put them together, threw the team together, and then we were rolling. We were traveling together. Uh, kind of on. We had a sponsorship with a store at one point for the first national we went to, which was 2019. But that kind of fell through. So it gave us the idea to just form our own team under our own name. And when we did that, the official name DBM came to mind because everyone was around the Montreal area. And that's it. We decided to do some YouTube, do some stuff, just kind of to track like we kind of wanted it to just be like a channel that we could look back on and see all our accomplishments. We really wanted to do vlogging before COVID hit, but now that I'm actually going to do a trip to nationals, we're going to start some vlogging again. And that's kind of it, just to show Americans that Canadians aren't as bad as they think we are and kick some butt with a bunch of friends.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah,
How many of you guys from DBM are going to be able to make it to nationals this year?
I think we're looking at 3 players, including myself.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, like a few people here, like a lot of our members got busy with school and stuff, and it was announced the very last second, so they
Yep.
just couldn't get the time off, couldn't get the time to go. I barely got the time to go. I was lucky enough to like squeeze in a couple days, find a
Yeah.
little weekend to get in, and it's still gonna be hectic for me, but I still want to play, and I'll try my best. Honestly, Red is looking in such a bad spot. I have so much testing to do. I'm testing different colors, and
Yeah.
we're trying.
I wish I could make it in Nats. I was going to be able to, but I ended up picking up a travel nursing contract, and it's just the timing just does not work out. We fly up the weekend before Nats, so it's a bit difficult to fly up there, get set up, start work, and then be like the very first week, go, hey guys, so by the way, I need to go to the States for a few days.
Fuck
So
it, do it.
just
Play some
I
cards.
wish, I really do, but it's just I don't think I can swing it. But if somehow once I get up there and they go, this is your contract, this is your rotation, and I'm off for that weekend, I might just jump on a plane and say hi. I am still registered for Nats.
Yeah, there we go. And the main thing is like I don't hold Bondi accountable for the last second. I know with COVID and the restrictions of each different state, they really couldn't like they couldn't do it like super planned. Like they couldn't give us like 6 months in advance because every state is like changing their restrictions every month. So I don't hold them accountable for that. I think they did the best they could, and I'm kind of just grateful we have it in person. If anything, I could say lose the play until undefeated rule and give us a nice top cut. I don't. That's the one thing that bothered me about regionals online. They were best of one. You never had a top cut, so it more became about dodge your bad matchups and you're in the top cut versus play against the people who topped. So
Yeah.
I would like to
Mhm.
see that come back for nationals.
I
And
agree with that. I think one thing they should have done with the national setup, though, because we've been playing in a COVID format, and the rest of the world's not quite as gung ho and opening up like the U.S. is I think they should have done a North American regionals where they had two of them, one in person and one online, and you were able to choose which one you signed up for. So you didn't play in both. You just had a choice of I'm going to play in this one or I'm going to play in this one, and just to appease the haters, because there's going to be, if they did that, there'd be so many people saying that the webcam winner doesn't matter compared to the in person. After they do that, then they set up like 2 weeks later a King of Kings or whatever match where it's the in person winner versus the the webcam winner to choose a true Nats winner. And I know it'd be more planning and whatnot, but like I said, I mean, we're just now opening our borders for the U.S. for Canada. I mean, we are North America as much as a lot of Americans don't want to think that. So it makes travel harder, and like you said, some restrictions just haven't quite changed down in the states. I mean, if you're in Florida, what restrictions? But if you in other states, they're kind of following a little bit closer to I guess rules, I guess, or whatnot.
Mhm.
Hmm.
No, yeah, I get it, and
Hmm.
that sounds like a cool idea. That's why for me on your last team talk that I watched, because I watched all your team talks,
Hell yeah,
we
someone does at
yeah,
least.
there we go. Hey, I watched them all, and I saw like the mentions of like getting a Canadian national, and I think COVID made it more apparent that we need one now more than ever. If Europe can do all theirs, like between France, Italy, and that,
Yeah.
Canada should be able to do theirs as well. I know we don't have the numbers, but I think a lot of the numbers reflect the fact that we don't have as much support. I think if there's more support for Canada, we're going to get the players back up in this game. So
Yeah.
that's what a lot of personal for players that are leaving the game locally, I can tell you it's because we're just lacking events. A lot of them are going to just play Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic because Magic is getting events, Yu-Gi-Oh is getting events, and Montreal we had no regionals, we had nothing to play for Dragon Ball. So I
Yeah,
And
think
it's best of one. It's a
yeah,
lot of best of one format. So
Not
yeah,
nothing
webcam is
nothing big since celebration.
yeah,
yeah, yeah, pretty much. I know for us here on the East Coast, we are trying to build more presence with Dragon Ball. One of our local stores and sponsor, Blue Lotus, is actually looking towards um, carrying more singles, selling online. We have a space open for being able to hold bigger events once that becomes a reality. And we'd like to try to get it set up where we're able to score regionals on the East Coast, basically east of Montreal, because there's a lot of appeal about having it on this side, because I mean it's Montreal still isn't very far from here in New Brunswick. You're looking at an 8-hour drive, but then we're also getting players from Maine, Vermont, further down south as well. Like not too far, but I mean I think there'd be enough appeal that people would actually come to an in-person event if we had it on the East Coast, and then it would make people over here feel like they're supported as well, because I mean that's a common thing in Canada where people are always like, yeah, Canada doesn't end at Quebec.
No, that's another thing too. Like if we're saying like two separate nationals, or even it doesn't even need to be separate. It could just be have two nationals, just one up more north. If you want to go sure in Canada, just so it's a Canadian national. Niagara Falls. You're telling me there isn't going to be some American players that are going to come up and be like, "Fuck it, let's try this now." There's going to be less people here. I might have a better chance of getting top cut. Like. That's always a thing too. It'd just be that's a central area. There's the fucking border right there. Let's get some people from Buffalo or wherever. They'll drive. And
Oh yeah. I mean, shit. When we made a couple years ago, we made a drive from New Brunswick over to Niagara Falls Regional. I think it was 2019. There was between the two events, because that's back when they did separate events for their regionals. There was around 130 people, I would say, and easily half of the field were from the states. So yeah, people would make the drive to Niagara, and that was for a standard regional. You throw it up to a national, then yeah, you're really getting people making the travel.
That's what I'm saying. As long as you got your invite, you go to either or whatever. Like, because they still have people that are from last year that have their invite, right? Because this is still 2 years going for nationals because they didn't have one last year. And that's the same thing too. Like, I don't know how many Americans were at it, but the last in-person regional I was at was in Toronto, and there was, I believe, 198 people turned out. It was like really big. So I remember being at one of the last tables, and I was like, table, like for the first match, it was like table 98. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, it was just crazy how many people were in this convention center just to play Dragon Ball. And this was what, 2018, 2019. This was Storm, so set 2018. Yeah, it was just crazy in there. Now think about it, it's like, geez, it's been that long since I've played an in-person regional. That's ridiculous.
You know what I would love? Team Wars, because that was the funnest event I ever went to. Team Wars was so much fun. It was different. It was unique. I don't know. It was just really awesome. They need to bring something like that back.
Yeah, the Celebrations Team Wars, where you had like the format of best of 3. Like, it was best of 3, and you had to win like a best of 3, right? So
Yeah.
you would have you'd have to win your set to get 1 point for your team, and then like whoever wins the most games out of the set wins.
Yeah.
And essentially it was like you couldn't include the same card in across all 3 decks. So you had to choose and strategize who gets which bullet, who needs which bullet. And I remember for the Celebrations in the finals, it was a very popular like Shugesh era.
Yeah.
And the one person we gave Pranoa to in the main board played against the guy who had 4 Shugesh in his main board. So he just played it on turn 1, and the guy was like, I can't play my deck.
Oh. What? That
Oh,
was in the
man.
finals?
I think so. It was like he was playing against like Broly Veggies or something, because Broly Hom was super popular back then. But for Team Wars,
Yeah.
some people started doing Broly Veggies with 4 Shugesh because they could get away with it. But
Yeah.
we had lucky in getting the right pick to play him.
Oh, jeez.
But where the game's at now, it's so much more healthier. And the game evolves so much that it's a lot more funner too. Like back then, I loved the game, but if I look from back then to now, the game's like a lot more interactive. I don't know, it's just at a good state. This game, they just have to figure a few more things out, and the game's really good. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was about to say, yeah, just touch on that. You can tell just by looking at a lot of regionals. Some people will comment on the fact saying that, oh, this is the joke regional set. This is the one that not many people are taking seriously. But no matter which way you look at it, if you look at the top 16 regionals, there are a lot of different decks that are topping. And if you take a step back, just to a year or 2 years ago, and you look at the regionals, then it was like top 16, 7 of this deck, 6 of this deck, 2 of this deck. But now we're getting a lot of 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. It's just, it's a
Spread out
lot
little bit.
more spread out.
Which is a good thing. That's
yeah,
a
very
good thing to
much.
hear, right? You want to be able to play different decks. That's one thing that, sure, there was a lot of Go on Icarus. They addressed that with the bans, obviously. But
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
like between these circuits that like I know most of us are playing in, is I'm almost playing a different deck. Like, as I'm not running to decks back to back, and it's usually like almost a different deck every week that I see people playing. I myself try a different deck every week, and some of them have actually been doing good, which in other formats would have been completely slaughtered because it was all ruled by 3 decks or 2 decks, being Dark Broly or being the King Vegeta. Just, I don't know. I think right now, especially like you're saying, the meta is healthy with that, which I'm glad it is, because we get it. People see, like, they experiment with other stuff. Like, how can I get an edge with this deck? I can actually play this deck now that there isn't crazy aggro. Maybe I can set this package up and see what I can do from here. Which I'm grateful for that, because that makes people want to play the game when they're new to the game. Like, what deck's good? Dog, just go. What deck you like from this new set? I can tell you which ones suck, but like. There's a couple, like, now, like, Jiren, like, when the format first came out, it's just like, what the fuck are you going to do with Jiren? But now that the other, like, King Vegeta and stuff, it's like, Jiren's like a solid red aggro deck. Like, but it has its silver bullet being, it has no fucking protection unless you have the 5-drop. But It's got an answer to it, but if you can't answer to it, you can get swung to death. So I'd like that cards are having that where they kind of, you see what you need to do to the deck. They're not these unstoppable walls of everything like Baby, where it's just like, okay, well, we're going to either tie or you're going to play Turning the Tide. That's the only two options that are going to happen here. But what were you going to say, Frank?
No, I was gonna say Jiren's pretty solid, man. Like I like Jiren from the beginning. You know, especially best of one format. If you go first, you have like, you know, you have what you need to start off the game. Jiren's pretty solid, man. You know, it's only best of 3 format where he's harder to play, right? And it's mainly because of Black Mass and maybe 1 or 2 other sides. But I don't know. I like Jiren. I find it's a good deck.
Solid one. But on that note, guys, I'm actually going to jump off there. I am going in to get my 3rd Pfizer booster tomorrow. I was a guinea pig at the beginning of the year, so now I get to be a guinea pig this year. So, I'll let y'all know about the symptoms and if I end up getting hit hard from the 3rd dose or not. But I'm sure everything will be fine.
He comes back here, guys. I don't think Android 18 is that good of a deck. Oh my god, what's wrong with you? He's sick. He's sick. Get him something.
Or he's cured.
He's cured. There we go. It's just like, oh my
I
god.
would go get a dose right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Hey,
the
man.
talk there, guys, and I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, stay healthy, man.
Always see you.
Later.
Well,
Man, I had something to ask though. What's your take on the when the set 15 is going to be legal or not for Nats? Like,
my take.
yeah, your
Yeah.
take. What would you prefer, since that we already know that like Canada is going to get stuff delayed instead of the United States?
For me, my take is weird, and I've debated against a lot of people with this take. I actually am for the set being legal. My reasoning is usually it might not be the right thing to do like in the future. But from my previous experiences, Nats 2018, the set came out the day of nationals, and TPs were legal. That is as bad as it gets, to me. And we still managed to find our cards. I was able to get it from my local, and then I flew out and I was playing Pan, of course, still, and I was able to pick up like everybody's PAL Yamcha from, I think it was PPG or Core or ARG or whichever TO was hosting it. And I was able to get everything I needed to essentially play the deck with 1 day like launch. So to me, you can always find the cards you need if you're willing to do it. And to me, it wasn't completely Bandai's fault. It was distribution problems. And I think they already announced it being legal before they announced the delay. So this already put like most professional players there's no pro players in Dragon Ball, but most like good players will try to test the format as soon as they know what it is. So that means like a lot of the players put like 2 weeks into testing, cracking decks, and then if you just pull back that format, it's like a lot of time wasted, and then you just roll back to a format that everybody knows. They just play the deck they're comfortable with, right? There's no deck building to be done, and I think deck building is a skill you really need to look at when you define a good player. I think a good player needs to be a good deck builder as well, so you can adjust to these situations. And if you pull back a set right before the release, you're not rewarding deck builders at all. You're just rewarding the players who are lazy, who are just going to pick up a net deck and roll with it and then try to outplay somebody. So I think by removing it, you remove the aspect of being a good deck builder. Distribution sucks. You can't argue it. Some people do get screwed, but the fact that Core is going to be there and selling your product, if you show up there on Thursday night, Friday night, you could pick up your cards. I don't think Core is gonna sell 120 Keflas to one person. I think everybody will get their cards. People are just panicking like they usually panic, and that's the way I look at it.
The one thing I do like about that, is that anything can fucking top. Like if set 15's released right, it's just like, no, as a viewer, as a spectator on the outside, nobody knows what the hell is even going to happen. But obviously people that are going are starting. So I'll ask you this. Have you become an untapped warrior now? Practicing for this?
I have been playing on Untap. Yeah, that's why I was one of the people who is really against rolling back. I put the 2 weeks into testing. I've tested a lot of different decks. Tested Kaba, tested Icarus to see if it's good. I've tested every red deck there is to see if red stood a chance. I've even tested Cell Surge, even though I hate the deck. Just to get a grip on each deck and to see what's viable, what's really strong, what's really weak. So to see like the community rise up and try to force them to roll back to a format that's just, even people were calling for rolling back the ban list, and that's just an eye roll. You're just asking people to play Icarus
Yeah,
mirrors
no.
all day. And I'm not flying down to Nat to play Icarus mirrors all day. I put time into this format, and I want to roll with the format. I like to, like, when you go on stream, I really liked your point where you, for a spectator, it's super interesting. You're gonna see the new decks. Like, you never know. Everyone says green Vegeta is garbage, but if you see an XO green Vegeta at some point in Swiss, everybody will get excited, right?
Mm.
And
No, 100%.
as much as people like to be elitist and say they know what decks are topping, at an event like that, I'm telling you now, no one thought a Pan was topping 2019 Nationals. No one thought a Harudegarn hand control was topping 2019 Nationals. They thought it was going to be Brawly and Shenron everywhere. So when you see decks like that, you can always prove people wrong by outplaying or just emerging decks that people don't realize are good. And I think that's where, when a fresh set is coming out on a release of a big event, you're gonna see who good deck builders are. I'm expecting Brian Samuel to probably have his own like crazy brew. So these are the type of things that I think when you're unsure of the format, it really shows who's a good deck builder and who puts the time into testing the format properly.
Even like Gen Con, like we saw there, is everyone thought that there was going to be way more Gogeta Xeno. And there's like one in top 8. It was Gohan Icarus, and then like there was a few other deck splashes, but people were like, oh, it's black. Black's been snapped. This whole unison set. Dark Broly, Gogeta Xeno is just going to be the grandfathered version of like Dark Broly. Not as crazy, but it still can do ridiculous shit. And no, it wasn't, which is, I'm glad to see stuff. Yeah, 100% like you said, where it's just like Green Vegeta, yeah, everyone could be hating on it. Sure, people want it to be better, or Goten. I still don't think that will top, but if it does, if it's going round 4, it hasn't lost the game yet, you're gonna lose your fucking mind. You're just gonna be like, you're gonna be rooting for that guy to go into top cut. Like, if there is, hopefully there is a top cut, but that's a thing where you always root for the goddamn underdog. You're like, yes, and then just so these prices skyrocket for these people that pull the case, like, yeah, I got all these SRs, man. You want them? This guy top. This deck's cracked, bro.
Like you're just rooting for a deck to be good and no one believes in it, and then you just see somebody come in and just like demolish with the deck, and you're like, that's essentially King Piccolo. Everybody was saying that deck was garbage, and then somebody went and just won an event with it, and then it just started winning events back to back, and everyone said the deck was trash. So
Dark Broly, when
Yeah.
it first came out, everyone's like, this is the weirdest fucking 30. What's this, Toa, the Paragus? What are you doing? And then
Broken.
just went off. Just went, yeah, see ya.
I was a hater on Dark Broly too. I fell into that trap. I was like, this deck looks bad, and then I got smacked by it left and right, and I was like, man, you're so stupid sometimes.
So bad that I got fucking everything hit on it.
Yeah. But for nationals though, for the players over here going there, they should definitely make sure that they have all the cards of the new set if it's legal. So it's fair for the players flying over there to make sure that they have what they need.
Yeah, I think definitely. Though another thing, like, I should mention is Bandai like announced the delay, so like they have an idea what's going on with their shipping. So I have faith in them to say, like, to understand that, like, when pre-release is a week earlier, I'm certain that stores will get their stuff before people fly out. Uh, I just believe in it because, like, they know they wouldn't just announce the delay and then not know what's going on with their shipping, right?
Mm.
That's the way I look at it. I think that they have an idea when the product is arriving, and if someone pulled that Pan SCR out the box and leaked it, it's clearly like circulating already. So I think we're gonna get our stuff on time. People are just freaking out, and I think they're giving us options like a backup with core in case, like, for the odd ones that don't get their stuff on time. I think that should be more than enough. And if core limits and they don't allow buyouts at the venue, and it's a closed event anyway, so like only people participating are allowed to go in. If you limit the SRs to the players, the people probably should get what they need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll ask Eric. So you happy you got a pan secret?
Oh yeah, overjoyed, man. I got hit up by like so many people, tagged by so many people, and I was like, it's like what? It was like a Monday or Monday morning when it got leaked, or it was Sunday night, and that put a smile on my face. Honestly, I was like, I know so many people are gonna be pissed because this is the guest character, but
Happy
Yeah.
boy came back.
I'm not
Yeah.
pissed at all.
Yeah.
A rally.
I think we hyped it up a tad too much. Like even
Yeah.
my video that I made on my channel, we put like Luffy and like all these characters. We were way off.
I was full blown into a rally that would have been insane as a CR.
Yeah, that's what I was. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just like, what color? They already did black. Like, I was thinking black for a guest character, and then I was talking with Grick there, and I'm just like, maybe, you know what? Let's go wild. A Raleigh, she's an Android, blue-green, Android 16 support. Fuck it, let's do it. Just like, you
Man,
can always dream.
I wish for a Mr. Popo SCR.
I'm calling one secret rare. They'll make it one day. Hyperbolic time chamber. They have to make a secret rare of
A
that.
secret rare what? Is this going to be a field card?
Nope. A field card, or it could be like you were explaining with Magic earlier, where it's a card that just sits there and they can't mess with it, and it has like a ability. That could be the introduction to that, where you could level up a character, you boost them, give them whatever 10k crit, and then it's unusable, but it's a free card, like something like that. Because Hyperbolic Time Chamber, you level up, right?
That's what I'm saying. That, you know what, that could be a cool secret rare, being that it's hard to like make it unsearchable. But if you do get it out, the turn you play it, it's got a timer on it. So every turn that passes, you add another token to this thing, whatever. And then if you're against a control matchup, you're just loving life because you're waiting until it boosts up, and then you're just like, for every turn that's passed, you get 5k to a battle card. You get 5k to a battle or leader card. You had it out for 5 turns. Here's I'm gonna add 25k to this card, and then fucking just go ham. Like that's a cool thing that could happen, where it's not like you can play around it, you can just aggro them down, but if you're trying to stall them out, it's just like, hey buddy, we're both going to hell together. Let's give her.
That would be sick. Yeah, it's like, let's say you had a turn 1, it's a free play, and each turn it does a different ability. You know what I mean? So turn 2 it'll do this. Turn 3 now it gives this. It could be like some new busted. It has to revolve around what Hyperbolic Time Chamber does for like DBZ in general, right? But I don't know.
You gave me like a deck design, like not a secret rare. To me, it's like you have the Hyperbolic as like a field card, and then you shove battle cards into them. Like you put them under the Hyperbolic, and then the battle cards come out like a turn late, but they come out stronger, right?
Yeah, that would be
Whole
pretty
new
sick
concept.
too.
To be fair, that Goku is kind of centered around that literal deck is a story. Like J-Ball was saying, it's a training arc. You're shoving shit under that, just like, oh, I got the Kai, whatever the hell the card's called, and you wait that ticking time bomb, and then when you got 4 underneath, boom, you negated the attack. But it looked cool. It looked cool when you swung with the 60k or whatever.
And it's so broken they had to errata it already. All 5.
Yeah.
When you were talking about that Hyper Time Chamber, it made me thought about the Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's Final Countdown.
Yep.
Like the Final Countdown.
Yeah, it's
I think it's
Yu-Gi-Oh.
20 turns, right?
Yeah, you pay like 2k life, and after after 20 turns have passed, after you activate this card, counting the turn you activated, you win the duel. So like, a certain condition, after a few turns you're gonna win. You're gonna win the game. Like, in a way, a victory strike, but like on a field card or something.
Yeah, that'd be pretty badass. When you said Final Countdown, I was thinking of that song. It's a
Yeah.
final. I'm like, But yeah, I'm tired too. So
Yeah,
if
man,
you
I'm
are ready, I'm ready.
Well,
Nice.
thanks for coming out, Eric.
Thank you,
Everyone,
Eric.
go.
Yeah.
You're fucking talking over me now. We gotta do the peace out here. Where can everyone find you? Where
Look
can
at
everyone
Karl.
follow you?
Yeah. Everyone can.
He got yelled at.
Yeah, everyone can find DBM just DBM on YouTube. That's our main channel. We do have Instagram and Facebook, but those pages aren't popping too much. But I do keep them updated. So if you just want to see what we're updating, sometimes I update if we're traveling, take a bit of pictures with the team. So yeah, you can check us all there. Everything DBM, and yeah, that's about it. I'm not gonna link people to my personal Facebook. I don't want to get flamed for having such a bad take for my nationals. I've already got flamed enough talking to people. So just check out DBM.
Thanks
Well
for
said.
coming.
Well, thank you for coming. It was a
Yeah.
blast having you, and I'm peacing the fuck out of here, guys.
And
Same,
stay
peace.
See you later.
super.
Stay super. No toys today, but we'll stay super.
Double crit.
No toes. Hey, good night,
Can
man.
we
Good
get
night.
double strike crit as the outro?
I'll make it happen.
I'll make it out. Okay,
I'll
let's
make
go.
it. I'll get copyrighted, but I'll make it happen.
Strike, double strike, double strike, crit. Double strike, double strike, double strike, crit. That's a double hit. Send it to the drop. Where your life sit.